I think you'll all agree that artificial intelligence is such a buzzword nowadays. Some loathe it, some love it. Some people fear AI, some embrace it. But whether you love it or you hate it, the bottom line is that machines are really good at finding patterns in large data sets, and they can make sense of those patterns much better than humans can. That means we are all relying on machines to do things better so that humans can focus on things that matter. Let me tell you what matters for people my age. Did you know the second largest cause of death among my peers is suicide? More teenagers and young adults die from suicide than from diseases like cancer, heart disease, influenza, and many more combined. There's a lot of stigma and discrimination associated with mental illness. Maybe that's why people hesitate to come out in the open and tell others that they're struggling. This might also lead to the high rate of suicide among teens in particular. Because of this, I decided to put AI to the test and see if I can figure out a way for machines to help identify people who might be thinking about taking their life and get them the help they need. I remember one of my first interactions with technology from when I fell in love with it at 5 years old. In kindergarten, my teacher said I couldn't use the computer since 2 other teachers tried fixing it, but it still wouldn't turn on. Well, I was bored, so I fixed it by figuring out that the power cable wasn't plugged in all the way. What started as a hobby progressed to a passion. I created my first iOS app, T-Tables, which helps you learn your multiplication tables. It was accepted into the App Store when I was 9 years old. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. However, I always felt that there was something missing in the very foundation of technology itself. I always felt that technology was very limited. But when I was 11, that all changed. I stumbled upon deep learning, a technology that allows computers to be, in a way, natural and understand abstract concepts and data, similar to a human's intuition. They can translate between natural languages, detect fraud, drive your car for you, and are now starting to help doctors diagnose and treat diseases like cancer, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. Now, at 14 years old, it's been 3 years since I've been designing artificial neural network architectures that can address pressing issues, such as mental health. However, the phrase artificial neural network is sometimes a bit misleading. You may think that ANNs try to exactly mimic the way our brains work. This is simply not true. Instead, artificial neural networks are loosely inspired by the way our brains work. This leads to why they are so much better at detecting patterns than our human brains. In collaboration with my mentors Prashant Main and James Archieri, here's how we think it can work when it comes to mental health. What if I told you that over 80% of the teens that commit suicide in the US, that's 4 in 5 of them, give off clear warning signs? Patterns, if you will. The problem? It's that humans aren't very good at detecting these patterns, like changes in someone's sleep, exercise levels, and public interaction. If some of the patterns from these suicidal teens go unrecognized and unnoticed by the human eye, then the only way to save lives is to let technology help us out and find patterns where humans can't. In fact, a perfect example of how companies are already using AI in order to understand your patterns is how they track you for targeted advertising. You've probably all experienced this before, okay? You're shopping online, and the next thing you know, that pair of shoes you Googled yesterday are now following you around everywhere today, like your email, Facebook, and even LinkedIn. It's like they're stalking you. What you may not know is that if I'm a depressed teen, Googling or searching about my depressing, maybe suicidal thoughts, guess what I see? Nothing related to it. These are the types of signals that are just going wasted. But what if this depressed teen isn't Googling about his or her thoughts? What if they're just keeping it all in? Well, AI could not only track their browser history, AI could track their lifestyle changes as well. Using smartwatch health data, social media data, and much more, these systems should automatically be able to pick up irregularities in the data, allowing us to build accurate early warning systems for depressed teens. However, you may be wondering, if it was truly that simple, why wouldn't we have already built these systems? It's because of noise. And in this context, this means natural irregularities in the data. See, noise is everywhere in data. It's why systems aren't ever completely perfect. Let's just say that one day you decide not to exercise. That's natural noise in the data. It is a disruption in pattern. Through neural networks, we can find and remove these disruptions because neural networks will try and find patterns in your data before they run a diagnosis. See, neural networks are very powerful when it comes to finding these types of patterns. And that's why I believe that these systems can be very, very useful. There are a lot of smart people currently working on trying to figure out how to stop people from hurting themselves. In fact, over 12% of the people here in the US who call the mental health hotlines say that just the call saved their life. Unfortunately, over 40% of the people calling these helplines in Australia, their calls aren't even being answered due to the lack of human staff. Plus, I think the methods we're currently using aren't working because they feel a little outdated to people my age. Think about it. Would a depressed teen really be very comfortable talking to another human on a helpline? This is why we're unable to reach maximum efficiency with these methods. It's because we force people my age to come to and reach out to us for help, which is something they might not be comfortable doing. They might be much more comfortable talking with technology rather than humans. So what if we could use that technology to bring the help to them? Well, the good news is that we're developing an app for that. An app that can be applied in the channels they are accustomed to using. Social media, iMessage, the App Store, and so much more. Once the teen's diagnosis has been confirmed, we can then kick in some therapeutic tools. Using neural network-based personality analysis, we can know more about the teen's personality and then recommend resources like online meditation and videos. We can also immediately notify their family to let them know what the neural network thinks. AI will then be able to assist clinicians and healthcare agencies by automatically diagnosing the teen and alerting the teen's family and providing them the means of getting help at their fingertips. We are making extraordinary breakthroughs in AI that can enhance our lives. My wish is to help reduce teen suicide via the power of deep learning technologies. I think you'll all agree we should embrace artificial intelligence, because if we get this right, we can get help to depressed teens much faster and save so many lives. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.